What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Welcome to the 5th game of the Quest for Atlantis tournament.
Grand tournament.
Grand tournament. So far, it's been going really good for me.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna try to be effective now because David has to leave in like 15 minutes. But if we're not finished, I will finish the battle report alone.
One man show.
Alone. But just to wrap things up, first 4 games, I lost my first, got 5 points, won my 3 next, and I have a really healthy score right now at I think I'm at 54 after 4 games.
That's good.
So the way I see it, my goal was to end in a top 10. I have a really good chance. Like if I get maybe a 10 or a 12, I should end up in the top 10. If I get a 20, I have a chance of podiuming. So I'm like, okay, should I go for the secure small win, make sure I end up in the top 10, or should I play for a 20, like all or nothing? Because a 20 can also become a 0.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, shit, I don't know. I'll have to see. I have to wait and see. Yeah, how about you?
Since I lost my previous game against Empire, since I'm a noob, I'm just playing for fun at this point. And facing Skaven, so double fun.
Alright, so without any further ado, what the fuck is this noise, man?
Creepy. For a creepy team.
It can only be demons.
Alright.
So basically, here we are. Also a really good looking army. He also entered the painting competition. I don't know if he podiumed or not, but it was really nice. This is also a game an opponent David has faced before.
Yeah, he's the one who had a Scourge of Wrath last tournament in Lincoln, who fucked me up. So
Fucked him up. Only facing David opponents this tournament.
Yeah, only nemesis.
And only people like that have 20 David.
Everyone has done it. It's just a fact.
So from that I know, and from the score we're both at, I know he's good. And from talking to him a little bit before the game, just asking like, okay, what's your level, dude? What am I up against? He was like, I'm okay, like I won the last Quest for Atlantis at least. I was like, fuck!
That's not okay, that's pretty fucking good.
Better than me then. I've never been this high up. So I'm counting on him being a better player than me. Looking over his list, actually, like I shouldn't say I couldn't have asked for a better list. Of course there are softer lists, but at this level, like a good player among the top tables, I could have come up against a lot harder lists.
Definitely.
This is a good demons list, but that my army fortunately have a lot of answer against.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I felt like, okay, he's probably better than me, but this is a good it should be a good matchup for me.
Yeah.
Against a bad player, I would I would easily go for the 20. Here, I have no idea. I was like, okay, I have a chance.
You have a chance.
The deployment here was. Oh, this was we're gonna spend some time on the deployment and objective because this.
Yeah, it's what's the name of it? Marching column.
Yeah, it was really interesting, and I found that my army and the way I used this, I could use this to my advantage. Really good. It was really interesting. So it was marching column was the deployment, and the objective was 2 pennies. So the way marching column works was you can leave as much as you want in reinforcement that comes up as ambushers from your table edge, and you take turns deploying a unit, but you pick a side, and each unit has to be further away from that side than the next unit.
Yeah, the center of that unit.
Yeah, the center. And that was a lot more. That complicated the deployment a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, it sure does.
The thing is, characters, fast cav, no, not characters, war machines, ignore this rule.
Mm-hmm.
Not fast cav.
Not fast.
And as you see, I have 2 princes and 3 bolt throwers. And let's go over his list before anything else. He has, this is from left to right, 2 units of, I don't know the names, it's shaft, sky serpents, 2 units of 3 sky serpents, 6 pestilent beast, mark of pestilence of course. He has 25 talisman, mark of pestilence, full command, parry, and a war banner. So it's a tar pit, standard combat res is 5, and toughness 5 up region, parry.
Toughness 4, I think.
Oh, sorry, toughness 4, sorry, yeah.
But yeah, they'll be.
There'll be 4 blight flies, banner of speed, pestilence, yeah, 5 up region stuff. He has a demon prince behind them with a 2 up armor save, 5 up ward, 5 up region.
Alright.
Also he has like the eternal sword, so like 6 strength 7 attack, weapon skill 10. I bet he has something else too, but I don't remember. He has a unit of furies behind them. Then he has 2 units of 10 horrors, 6 thieves. I don't
Seekers, I think they're named. Fast cab.
Yeah, fast cab, but pretty strong in combat, like against other.
Surprisingly good and strong in combat against elves at least.
Yeah, and 6 clawed fiends. They fucked David up before. I never faced them before.
Yeah, fiends are horror against them.
So the way deployment worked was I got to pick sides. I picked this side. I thought it was a no-brainer. I had a heal. I didn't have impossible that split up my deployment, but split up his. And he didn't get the forest to use as cover, but he get ruin. I picked this side. He picked for me to start deploying. I placed a war machine to begin with. It doesn't affect any of my movement or my other deployments. I can still deploy wherever I want since it's a war machine. So only one war machine. He placed his unit of clawed fiends to the left. I placed another war machine. He plays, and he has to keep placing in this order now. So he plays a unit of horrors. To the next to them, I place another war machine. He places his chef, and he's like, "Fuck, you can really dig." Like now, by now, I can see like how he keeps deploying, where he will end up. I still can choose wherever I want to go.
Exactly.
So after my 3 bolt throwers, I place a unit of Reavers in the right corner. And I pick that corner so I can start deploying from there.
All right.
He places his Furies. I place another unit of Reavers, like this is after Vanguard, so I place them like to the right of the archers, so I can still deploy toward where they were. I measured it exactly so that if the combat ended up on the left side,
alright,
with Vanguard and movement 30 inches, I ended up on the left side of the bolt thrower if I needed to move my shaft over there.
Alright, nice.
So I measured like they deployed 30 from there. And then he was like, "Oh fuck, okay, now I have to drop my blight flies." And by this point now I know what he has on the left side, and now I know he has to put some stuff, because I was worried like maybe if I put everything on my left side, he puts everything on his, I have to fight everything of his on the same time.
Exactly.
If I place too much to the center, I was really scared because I heard rumors about the Clawed Fiends, so I was really scared he was just gonna run around me with his fast stuff and just take long charges and stuff. But now I knew he has, since he dropped his blight flies, I know, okay, at least his Talisman and his what are they called, the worms, the pestilent beast,
Yeah, exactly.
are gonna go on the right side of the piece of impossible. So he has to have them over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I didn't want my chariots to get stuck on either of those. I wanted my white lions to be able to face them.
Yeah, exactly. Flaming them.
Exactly. But now I felt like, okay, now I know they are gonna be on that side, so I can place down my white lions without him being able to avoid them completely.
Mm-hmm.
So now I know basically where everything's gonna go. So now I decided to drop everything.
All right.
And I could do it like, could see most of his armies without him knowing where I was going to go. Drop everything and predict where he was gonna go to get a good deployment and first turn.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, that was really good for me.
Yeah, I have a good army for that type of deployment when we think about it.
Yeah. So the way it worked out was, I knew like I'm not used to facing lost demons, but I know really long charge range. Like just measure the charges. That's the number one mistake you do against this list.
Exactly.
So I was really scared about that. I put basically one of my prince, my general, and my knights on the left side. Basically, long charge ranges to keep him from running around me. Make sure they have at least one unit of chaff, another unit of chaff is going over there, just to secure they don't fuck up the flank, run around me.
Exactly. Because they are a hassle if they manage to do that.
Exactly. Put my spearmen pretty centered in range for magic and help. White lions and the other prince is able to take the other flank. But they're all pretty centered, so if I need to switch focus, hop somewhere else, I was really satisfied with this. We're going into my turn 1. So I get off. What's that spell? That's the attribute. I get off, I think it was, basically I'm focusing on removing shaft, because I know as long as I have shaft, I can get the charge on the Cloud Fiends.
Mm-hmm.
But if he has shaft, he has the range advantage, he will get the charge. And he can charge my knights, he can charge my spearmen. Like the only thing I want him to charge is the Chariot. But if I move up to be in charge range, in a secure charge range, and doesn't have shaft, he can just run past me.
Exactly.
So I was like, I need to remove the shaft, so I focus everything on the shaft, even though it's hard cover. I'm like, they are gonna die, but I only kill 2. I also managed to kill 1 Cloud Fiend with the bolt throwers. And I put a wound, the archers could only shoot over here, so I put a wound on a Pestilent beast.
Alright.
And I move like so. So my Chariot jump out a bit, just to threat, to zone. So if he moves up with his Blightflies, Demon Prince or something, both of my Chariot creates a zone, and they are like heat-seeking missiles. They want to find those targets, because they win that matchup, probably, and they get the points. But he was just keeping this threat line really good. Like I didn't have openings to just run up. So we were both zoning. Okay, what's this? I didn't take any pictures in his turn 1, looks like. So this is my turn 2. Yeah, this is after his turn 1. So he has moved a bit, as you can see. But he keeps his Blightflies on behind, but like he does smart things. Like the edge of his Blightflies can see past the impossible. So if I mess up somewhere, they will just charge over the piece of impossible into that. But otherwise he's behind it. So if I try to shoot at them, he gets hard cover.
Yeah, he's a good player. Not that.
Good player. He moves up the Cloud Fiends a little bit. So basically I can't charge him. He can charge me if I don't move back. And I have to charge through dangerous terrain, or if I want to try a long charge, like no mistakes. And he focuses shooting on my shaft. As I said, this is my turn 2, so I jump my Chariot over here to the left.
Alright.
Just thinking my White Lions will have to hold up this flank. Like I want 1 Chariot to try look for openings on the Blightflies and Demon Prince if he moves.
Yeah, that's the main targets, right?
Yes. and the other chariot can't move away from the flank because then the Cloud Fiends can roam around. So I have to keep the other chariot there. So that leaves a lot of stuff for my White Lions to handle, but I have Reavers and Archers I can shaft with. And from this, he decides to turn it on. From shooting and magic, even though the Fiend is standing behind and cover, I still like that unit is gonna die. I focus everything, and he has one left. Unfortunately, his turn 2, boom.
Oh.
He sees an opening and decides to shaft my prince on a chariot. And since that one is shaft, my White Lions can charge anything, and he moves up really aggressively. So perhaps he thought like, okay, I'm not going to get a better opening than this.
Nope.
So I'm going for it. And still I was doing damage to him at range and stuff. But so no charges now, but very aggressive, and he has a lot of options next turn, and he has a lot of shaft left that I haven't dealt with. Like both his Sky Serpents,
They're pretty fast too, I think, like 5, 9, 8.
Yeah, so here I was like this, my next turn is gonna dictate the game. But like, okay, here he took a lot of risk, a lot of opportunity. I have no idea what to do. So I took a lot of time thinking about what I should do. He killed the Reavers with shooting, so that unit of shaft is dead. He still has his shaft. This is my turn after movement. So what I did basically, from here, my chariot of course charged the Furies, the shaft. Alright?
Yeah.
My White Lions will reform, but to keep the center the same, they have to stand a little bit awkwardly. I had to wheel more than I wanted to, just to fit. I move one unit of Reavers. Okay, just remember this picture, guys, and I will jump here. The Reavers at the moment are shafting the Talisman, not the Pestilent Beasts. Alright?
Okay.
His Blightflies can charge the Archers, and I will take that charge. I reform the White Lion, so basically I knew his Blightflies can charge anything they want here. But if he charges the Archers, he don't want to fight the White Lions. If he charges the Archers, I reform like so I can counter charge. And since my Reavers are shafting the Talisman, my White Lion doesn't have to fear their counter charge.
Alright, nice.
Because I promise he was thinking like, yeah, okay, I charge the Blightflies. I charge Blightflies into the Archers, pursue them. If he charges me, I charge Talisman into him, and then I have Pestilent Beast. I don't know. And his Pestilent Beast can charge the flank of my Archers, but also that's also the only unit my White Lions deal with them really easy. They have Flaming Banner, and multiple wounds. So I'm basically sacrificing my Archers. Like, charge them in if you want, charge the Blightflies in, charge the Pestilent Beast in. But my White Lions are coming for you afterwards. I'm only keeping the Talisman away. So here, this was my counter. I was pretty satisfied with it, and I decided my other prince. Now there's a lot of stuff here. So my other prince that was keeping the Cloud Fiends at bay, I basically decided like, okay, if I want a big win, I can't keep the prince here. I have to leave the Cloud Fiends, bait him to waste time on the knights. Like, he can kill the knights, he can run up my flank, eventually he can kill the bolt throwers, charge rears my spearmen, but I need both princes here to grab the big points here, and I will still win. But if I keep a prince there, he has too much shaft, too much shit, so it will just be a grind. So I have both my princes here. His turn, so what he decides to do then, after everything.
Jesus.
This was a complicated fucking game.
No doubt.
His Blightflies, this I actually didn't think he was gonna do. I thought he was gonna go for the Archers or reposition for a better charge or something like that. I didn't think he would go for the bolt thrower. When he did, it wasn't too worrying. It's still, maybe I wouldn't catch them, but I still have other points in front of me. He take bolt throwers. I still want the objective, of course, and they are moving away from the objective.
Exactly.
But he decided to shot Blightflies into bolt throwers. You have to go.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the people. Listen to the battle report later.
Goodbye, channel. I have to go.
Alright, I finish up this solo. You're gonna enjoy it. It's a complicated game, man. Complicated game. So Blight flies into a bolt thrower, the middle one, not the closest one. So he needed to roll like an 8 or something, but he did that instead just because he wanted to make sure the overrun took him out of arc from my White Lions. If he charges the closest bolt thrower and overrun into the next, I could still see and charge him with the White Lions. So he charged the middle one so he can overrun to the one furthest away. Really smart. Pestilent Beast into the flank of the archers, and Talisman into the flank of the Reavers. I hold on both. He charges the Demon Prince from behind the piece of impossible into one of my chariots, my general. That I think was a mistake. One of the few he did, maybe the only mistake he did. I think the way he was thinking was he doesn't have any good tools to deal with them, so this is his best chance. It's still 6 strength 7 attacks, hitting on 3s, winning on 2s. So this is the best chance he got, so he's gonna take it. His Clawed Fiends tries a long charge on my knights. I left him, I was 21 inches away, so he needed to roll an 11, but he decides to try it. His Sky Serpents behind the Blightflies charges first my Spearmans, and I basically, if he had made it, he would have, because he has reduced them, there are like 8 guys, he would have probably broken them, run into my unit of Reavers. I would lose my unit of Reavers. He would have won that combat too, so I would lose my unit of Chaff. So I decide to flee with the Spearman. He takes a redirect test and fails it. So no redirect for them. After charges, this is what it looks like. This just shows all the charges close up. Here it looks a bit fishy if the Pestilent Beast could fit, like, because it's a flank charge, if they can wheel in, but they actually can. He did something pretty smart, I think. Like, he only has 2 models wheeling in, not 3, but keeping everybody still in combat, and all of my models are still in combat, so he doesn't have to wheel with 3 Pestilence Beasts, it's only 2, and that's where he fits. Talisman in here, Blightflies, they make the charge in here. Demon Prince makes the charge, Sky Serpents fail the charge onto the Spearmans.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Clawed Fiends fails the long charge here. So it looks like so. And now, since he made everything the way he went in, I see this directly. I don't know if he thought of this, or if he maybe didn't think of this because he just thought he would win the combat. But if my general wins the combat against the Demon Prince and kills him, he only has 4 wounds, toughness 5, 2 up armor save, 5 up ward, 5 up regen. If he one more very important thing. The turn here where I set this up, I make sure I jump my mage into the White Lion unit and I bubble Stars Align. Doesn't do anything now, but just to counter him, because I know he's gonna fuck shit up the next turn, and if we end up in combat, so I'm buffed. So I think I forward. I like his. Yeah, I think he stops the magic missiles, and I throw the bubble. And that was the spell I wanted through. So when he gets in, like so, with the Demon Prince, I don't think he remembered that guy has Stars Align up, because that makes this an even worse charge, because I have multiple wounds against him. I have 5 strength 6 attacks with multiple wounds, hitting on 4s with a reroll, wounding on 3s. You get a 5-up save and a 5-up regen. I only need to get through 2 of them through. Then I have 4 strength 5 attacks from the lions with rerolls to hit, wounding on 4s. Strength 5. So it's very possible that I kill him, and then I can reform in his turn to face the blight flies now and charge the blight flies. So that's what I'm hoping for. I think he probably saw this could happen but didn't think it was gonna happen. I would guess that he forgot I have Stars Align up, because that makes it so much more in my favor. And then we go into combat, I will suppose. So blight flies overrun like so into my next bolt thrower. My general killed the demon prince, reformed to face the blight flies. Rest of the fighting looks like this. His pestilent beasts broke my archers that fled all the way over there. He tried to pursue them, so right now my white lions are in his flank. So this opened up a lot in my favor, even though he took the archers and will get 2 bolt throwers. He just lost his general and gave me a lot of opportunities. So this is great. Going into my turn 4 then, of course, I'm declaring charges. White lions in the flank of the pestilent beast. One of my chariots in the shaft. They are angled, so the overrun will not take me into the Talisman. The white lion overrun will take me into the Talisman. My general chariot charges the flank of the blight flies. My spearmen rally. These guys make it. Yeah, this puts me in a really awkward position. My spearmen's rally, and I had to reform them in a weird way to allow my Knights of Ryma to keep backing up. So because I was here, I'm blocking my Knights of Ryma, so they can't keep backing up, and they want to back off the Clawed Fiends to make the charge longer. So I reform in a weird line, so my Knights of Ryma can swift reform and move back to keep this a long charge. My Reavers just stand behind the fence to make this to give soft cover, and hoping his Clawed Fiends will charge them instead, because then hopefully when I kill the blight flies, I can reform and charge and get the fiends too. And over here, yeah, my prince killed the chaff and reform, hoping to charge in the front here and help next turn. I make sure to keep buffing my units, because this, I'm not entirely certain about this combat. I'm hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s. He has a 5-up save, and he has 5 combat rest static. Then he has poison hits, wounding on 3s. You never know, and I definitely don't want to break, so I'm keeping my cold-blooded on these guys. And basically that combat, we're gonna do that combat in his turn, and I think I might have a buff up. So his turn 4, he charges the Clawed Fiends and makes the long charge. Unfortunately it wasn't like a 11, so I'm not surprised. They have a good movement speed, so maybe it wasn't that be small of an odds that he would actually get in. And he combat reformed really smart with the Talisman, also pretty tricky. So what he did in his it's coming up soon, maybe I have a picture of it. So I don't know if you can tell, but his Talisman are slightly more down to the right. So he combat reformed, so he's still in contact with everyone, but slightly more down. And he did this since it was his turn. He decides who to reform first, so he chooses that I reform first. So I just stay put. Then he reforms, jumps down a little bit. So my Chariot Prince that is in his front can't charge because I can't make contact with the front edge. I can't charge his flank because I'm not in his flank. That was just like a small maneuver, but it shows like he's a good player. Small tricks that keeps him alive. So that was a little bit frustrating, but totally legit. I will take that trick and remember it, use it in the future. But we both stick around this combat, and by now, yeah, you can see I have some buffs up, so I'm not too afraid, and I know my prince will come and help eventually. And here my Knights of Ryma actually stick. So he fluffs a lot. He has one Blightfly left, and the horrors just keep shooting. They are trying to clear Lord Sea Guards and just random shit. My turn 5. My prince jump up to his flank. I've killed a lot of them. I had Stars Elein up last turn, so I killed a bunch. So by now, I don't even think I will need my prince because there are so few. Here, my knights still stick. So I reform the Lord Sea Guards to face him, just because I'm thinking if he kills them in this turn and reforms, if he tries to charge the Lord Sea Guards, either I can flee or hold, or whatever. I'll probably hold. He will kill them, but I will counter charge. And if he doesn't charge the Sea Guard, or if I can charge them in to make room for my prince, so my prince also can get in. And I actually stick this turn too. Yeah, this is my turn. So he fluffs greatly. He has 2 Cloud Fiends dead, but the ones that are left, like from what I heard of Cloud Fiends, I was a lot more scared of them than what they performed in this game, but they rolled under average. The horrors keep shooting at my Sea Guards, and they are casting magic and stuff, trying to cast Breath Weapon on the Talismans, and I prioritize stopping that spell, letting some magic missiles through, like on my Chariot Prince and stuff. And this is his turn 5. This should be I killed his Blightfly and reformed. You can barely see it, but there are only 2 spearmen left, and we keep on grinding it out here. His Cloud Fiends are still fighting here. They are gonna kill him. They are gonna kill me in this turn, in his combat phase. It's in his, so he can only reform, and next turn is mine. So that's great for me. He really should have killed him earlier and had some time to move away. Yeah, so couldn't have asked for more here actually. And we reform like so. Since this is still his turn. Yeah, we killed the Talisman and reformed. So finally got them and secured this objective, but he got the other one, and that's gonna be like this. The game is winding down now, so that's gonna be really, really hard. So I think we're actually gonna draw the objective. Here, finally killed my knights and reformed in his turn, going into my turn 6. So I charge in my Chariot Prince and the 2 Lord Sea Guards. Now looking at this from this angle, it looks like maybe I didn't have to charge in the Sea Guards, but the way it looked like during the game was that I had to charge in. And probably if I hadn't, he would probably just have shot him dead with his horror, so it probably didn't matter. But both of them got in. Magic, I keep trying to cast some spells, just killing some horrors. They are not in range for anything else. He shoots and casts magic missiles at these guys too, trying to kill as many as possible. My Chariot Prince killed the Cloud Fiends, popped them and reformed. This is my last turn, so no more movement. And in his last turn, he just moves up to cast some final magic and shooting. But he got this objective piece. And yeah, he takes the White Lion down some more, but I'm still alive. Whew! That's 5 battle reports done, and this is the dead pile. This was a real bloody game. Here it looks like we just annihilated each other, but actually, like, out of everything, I kept, like, he killed a lot, but I kept a lot of stuff that holds a lot of points. Like, all of my characters were still alive, my 2 princes and my mage, and those 3 are like 2,000 points. He only got half point from my Red Lions. He did get all my Reavers, all my bolt throwers, and my spearmans and my knights. So he got around, I would say around 2,500 points, maybe. My characters are 2,000, and so he has 3,000 minus half my Red Lion. 2,700 points was about what he took, and from him I actually killed everything apart from his 2 horror units. So, and 200 extra points for Demon Prince. So I got a lot of points. That should be 5,000 minus the horror, so like 4,300 plus general, so 4,500. So I think the difference here was around 1,800, and we drew the objective, so it ended up being a 15-5 victory to me. And just quick recap, guys. So David left me alone. I was really satisfied. Basically, I think it was a good matchup for me. If it had been a bad player or a player at my skill level, like at the same level, I would have expected a 20. Since he was really good, he made it hard for me. So yeah, I think I really played it good. Like, we both played a good game. He had a tough matchup. I was really satisfied with the way I thought and planned during deployment. I think that helped me a lot. That I didn't take the bait or did any mistakes on the flank at the early turns. I think it's really easy there to just move up a little too much, expose a flank, or go too far up, and he just chef me up and with a unit and run past me. But I kept him at bay there. I think it's a really easy trick to fall for. And basically the only mistake I think I did that I would have done otherwise, I can go into in a bit. He did a big mistake in charging in his Demon Prince, and that caused some other things to happen. But other than that, I don't really think he did any mistakes. He played really good. The only mistake, and that's depending on how you see it, that I think I did, was basically, it's really interesting. From here, the way it ended up, I didn't need this prince to help out taking the Talismans. Alright? So this prince could have turned. This basically, after they turned, they charged the shaft. It was basically, I charged them in turn 3. So from my turn 4, he didn't need to be here. He could turn and go put pressure on the Talisman and the other flank. This could have secured me the objective. Alright? Here's the thing about this. Because this isn't, depending on how you look at it, it might not be a mistake. Of course, you don't know that this combat is gonna go well. You don't know that you're gonna get the buffs through. You could miscast and just kill a bunch of guys. So by keeping him here, I kept myself safe because I wanted to make sure I got this unit. Otherwise, it could backfire completely. You could kill this entire unit and win the entire objective. Alright? So I played the safe way, and this gave me a medium victory. Alright? Let's say I wanted to make sure I get let's say I wanted to play for the 20, I want a podium, I want to place in the top of the tournament. Everything else is a bust. Then this is a mistake. Like if you're only aiming like I want to win, I'm happy with the win. Doesn't have to be as big as possible. Just I want to secure it. I think this was still the right move. But if I wanted to go for a 20, this moment here you can realize the only way I'm getting a 20 is if my White Lions manage to take them along, my prince goes out and help the rest of the army on the flank. That would, if everything works as planned, that will give me, can give me a 20. It's not secure. If something backfires, I will lose instead. But if your goal is like I'm gonna win or bust, then you will take that risk. But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting thought, but I don't regret staying here. Like hindsight, it's of course always easy to be smart. Now I won this combat. Of course I could have gone and helped the other and got the 20, but in the moment I think I made the right decision. And to summarize, I got 15 points here. I ended the tournament on, let's get the overview. I ended the tournament on 69 points. It's a personal record of mine. It was 7th place out of 46. So I ended up in the top 10. And I'm really happy with the results. So proud, and I had a great time. All of my opponents were real sports and fun to play against, and I even learned a lot during the tournament. So I really couldn't ask for more. Happy with my list as well, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Drop your thoughts down below. I'm going to bed now. I got another team tournament coming up. I'm gonna play it in like a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna take pictures there too. So you're gonna get some more from a team tournament. It's gonna be really interesting. Peace.